Hi, my name is Theodore Cottingham, and I have a school of love for you to love. To love the school, to love, to love the learning process, to love learning the process of how to learn a different story than you have ever conceived you as in the past. For we are not limited to the images of the past, nor the words put together that were arranged so that the arranger could control us. You see, how words are put together matters. Change a period here, a comma there. Even the use of inflection and how double entendres are used. Metaphors, simile, like, as, an allegory. How to tell one story by telling another. Telling a complete story with characters, names, backgrounds, action, desire, passion, conflict, heroes and heroines that completely enshroud, speak to something completely different. A word picture, a story graph, you remember the old flannel graph before there were digital whiteboards and blackboards, and there were pieces of cloth cut out in different colors to be different characters that people would apply while they were telling the story to help give it depth, to help give the picture meaning, to help facilitate a picture because the picture didn't have within itself everything in one frame. But a picture could convey a lot. But when you start moving the parts around, the sentences around, the people around, and have action on the stage, you have a much broader, richer creation of communication. Some of you want to wake up. Some of you don't know what it means. Some of you may be afraid to wake up. But many are ready. You may be ready. You probably are if you keep listening. If you've decided some things, if you've decided you're willing to grow up, are you willing to grow up? You can't wake up. You can't wake up unless you're willing to grow up. because it is a process. It's a process where you begin to learn who you are. You don't wake up to another person's knowledge. You don't wake up to their body. You don't wake up to their mind. You don't wake up to their data. If you wake up, you wake up to yours. If you wake up to the knowledge that you have given birth to. Because if you wake up, you become your word. An energy spectrum that is not limited. The truth of the truth, the truth of perfect love is hidden in plain sight. You look at it in your mirror every day. Every time you brush your teeth, comb your hair, wash your face, every time you look in the mirror, you are looking at the creator of you and your own creation. You see, if you want to wake up, you have to be willing, and you have to go into places you've never been before, or at least in this life. And that place is inside of you. But you must be willing to go. And for so many, it's a fearful thing to go where you've never gone. What will it be like? What will the people be like? What will the energy, the colors, the communication? What will it be like? To have a bodiless body? a fleshless body? What will it be like to have a body that's not limited to flesh? Scary for a lot of people. Scary to wake up. But how do you wake up? Why do you wake up? Why do you want to wake up? What does wake up mean? What are you going to do when you wake up? So you're finding out about it first. You're wading into the pool of knowledge, getting your feet wet, considering there may be something to the story of the cosmic egg. We have lived lives groaning in the flesh, perpetrated by ignorance, loving the earth, worshiping it, worshiping the moon, worshiping a god, worshiping an idol, worshiping the church, worshiping the Bible, worshiping all sorts of things. We've all had many idols that we have prostrated ourselves before, knelt in front of, and spent hours each day using our powers of creation to create our sustenance, our substance, perpetuating our own subterfuge, and not very surreptitiously, but out in the open explicitly, because cultural values demand it. Waking up, what a term. Implies we've been asleep. Sleepwalking, sleep living, ignorant of our power, ignorant of who we are. You see, this is a school about religion, not. My school is about love, and you coming into it, and not just learning the knowledge of it, because the knowledge of it will not birth you, wake you up. The knowledge of it will not create you in a new world or create your new world. But you have the power, for you are the creator. The creator. The creator was you all the time. But religion came along. Men who wanted control. Conniving thieves. Conniving ignorance. The word ignorant that ends in TS. Who created ignorance? The word that ends in CE. We have ruled the earth in ignorance, and ignorance has been our torch, our flame, our heaven, our hell, our bliss, our complacency. Ignorance has fueled many a sacrifice on the altar. But we're waking up. What are we waking up to? The real you. The real you. What you are, who you are, what your substance is, what your fashion and form is, what you can create, how you can act, where you can go, what will you look like, what will your friends be, who will limit you then, who will limit you, who will put the fence around you and tell you, don't go out the yard, who will corral you and tell you, believe what's in this book and nothing else and beware of false teachers, lest they come to you like wolves in sheep's clothing. Grow up. So who's going to tell you within the cosmos, okay, you're finally old enough to ride a bike. Put on these training wheels so you don't skin your knee. Here's a life vest. Here are gloves, boots. Put on a helmet. And don't you dare take those training wheels off. Ever. Ever. Don't you dare take those training wheels off. We would either laugh if we saw that on the stage, or we saw somebody doing all that, or cry, or wander off and say they don't know much. My school, my school is the school of me. The school of me is the school that every person who enters and begins the diligent pursuit of truth based on unconditional love, who begin to see it, who are willing to take off their training wheels, begin to be willing to lay down the Santa Claus story. It can be a scary thing because you are not going to wake up unless you have new knowledge. You're not going to wake up. You're not going to become who you really are unless you're willing to do things you've never done before with people you've never met before, who you learn to do things with them as well in a community, across time, space. See, so many people, they don't want to hear all these words I'm saying. They just want the bottom line. They want a 1-minute elevator speech. How do I wake up? Get the knowledge and run. Because they don't know better. And in their ignorance, they run about in torturing themselves and each other. All they want's the bottom line. My friend, if you want the truth of you, the truth of who you are, the truth that you can wake up, the truth that you can transmogrify, that you can transform. And you can enjoy peregrinations without flesh. You can operate without your flesh body. You can learn to do all the things Jesus did and more. But what are you going to do with this knowledge? Are you going to do the things Jesus did? Are you going to go control the stock market? Or control an election? Assert your power, your authority. If all you want is power and authority, go away. I'm not the person for you, and this is not the knowledge for you. Because if you come here, you come as a little child. Not a simpleton, but with a humility. To listen and engage. You cannot be a recluse here. If you want to know who you are, you can learn. But it's costly. That's why I say my school is the most costly school on earth. Because for you to come here, for you to graduate, you laid down everything you thought you knew. And you begin to learn from above. Not. You begin to learn from below. Not. You begin to learn all the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding all around you. Not. you begin to learn from the great within. The kingdom of heaven is within you, the kingdom of God. You have the power of life and death in your tongue. What your tongue is attached to, engaged with, is powered from. What motives do you have and why? My name is Theodore Cottingham. My website is my name, theodorcottingham.com. I have a school, the School of May. And if you're willing to begin to understand, you begin to see the School of May is what you engage with, you enter into to become the real you that you see through your words that are not limited to the flannel graph characters, the digitized images, a digital world, a virtual world. But you begin to see with an energy that is inside of you, of the real you that's behind your eyes, the energy of creation. No longer limited to the energy of fools who think they know God, who think they serve a creator, who want to perpetuate a system of slavery, of followers, a system of patriarchy. All those systems that enslave are going away because we're waking up to the cosmic egg, to the God story. Birth a universe story, birth a new being, birth your light body. When you see you in the mirror, I'm asking you to begin to see you as a school in waiting no more for other people's knowledge. No more looking for the wisdom of sages or people of the past, whether they wrote ancient words or not. But the energy, the love, the power. Moses, Andrea, Betty Sue, Ralph, Noah, Abraham, Esther. There are a lot of stories about a lot of people that if you can begin to see hidden in sight was a much bigger story. Christianity wanted to enclose it. Christianity is the worst religion of all. They had so much. And I suggest they have so much right, accurate. But they want to control it. And love is not controllable. They can say God is love and God is this, that, and the other, and these are God's words in this book, and crown this book, now worship this book. And they encrust it, and they draw these limits and boundaries, of who can talk and tell women to be silent. Talk about the house of God and people of double honor and people of have fivefold ministry and concoct all sorts of layers of bureaucracy to delineate, classify, categorize, to exalt their authority. What is all of that Nicolaitanism spoken of in the book of Revelation? I value the Bible highly, reference it often, think about many of the stories. But it no longer holds the place in my life of the one and only reference, the source of God, the source of love. No, my friend, if you want to wake up, if you're willing to wake up, there is a process, and it's costly because you are willing to, like Abraham, a moon worshiper who love saw, love spoke to, and said, Abraham, get your family, get everything together, and come to a land I will show you. The promised land. It's the promised land. And as he went, God began to show, communicate. There's a maturing process. I suggest to you, you may be like me. I sat in thousands, I think probably thousands of church services. Many times I've heard the term, the authority of God, the authority of God's words, the authority of the Bible. My friend, all of that is crumbling because if you wake up, if you really wake up, oh yes, you can wake up to a degree. You can wake up to certain knowledge. I'm not talking about enhancing your knowledge to wake up to a higher vibrating frequency so you can dance and prance and remain limited to earth. I'm not interested in remaining limited to earth. Are you? If that's all you want, okay, don't come here. There's more to the story. Cataclysmic. The cosmic egg. Love this picture. The cosmic egg. How does the universe form? How did we get all of these planets? How do they exist in communities of galaxies? Billions of galaxies. And every galaxy with billions of planets? How can this thing be? Look up in the sky at the stars tonight. You, my friend. Betty, Karen, Lois, Lola, look up at the stars. See, it's what you can see that matters. You may only see sky. You may only register planets in space, some that are lit. Call them stars. But can you see the the flannel graph story. The story. What these words are communicating. What can you see going on in the creation of your mind? Will you let your mind create? Call it imagination. Consider it fantasy. Deem it worthwhile or not. Call it a daydream. But see, what are you willing to use this for now? Are you willing to use what uses you to now wake up? Are you willing to think a different thought? Are you willing to think a new thought? Are you willing to go within? Are you willing to go within, not just to use, develop, excel, and worship your cognitive intelligence? Are you willing to see a different picture? Are you willing to use a different energy? Or are you willing to learn from an energy of perfect, pristine, pure, unconditional love? One that says, I will teach you. I will never leave you or forsake you. I'm with you at all times. And even if you make your bed in hell, I will be there. Why? Because I am you. The first shall be last, and the last shall be first. Enter heaven, the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of the promised land, the kingdom of perfection, the kingdom of no lack, the kingdom of no torment, the kingdom of no comparison, the kingdom where you walk with confidence, leadership, love. Utopia, Atlantis, Lemuria. Well, golly. No longer afraid of knowledge, no longer afraid of mankind, or the threat of knowing epistemology or not. No longer trying to accommodate someone's eschatology. No more worried about pre-trib, post-trib, mid-trib. Learning to wake up. Learning to be who you are without religion. Are you willing to be who you are without a religious story? Are you willing to be who you are to mature and not claim every good thing comes from above? Above? No, my friend. Every good thing? How do you know it's good, or do you just deem it good? You see, we are so accustomed to eating from the knowledge of good and evil that we have perpetrated, that we have grown, that we have exalted within ourselves. Of course, we know we're human. We have a brain, we have a mind, we have cognitive power and intelligence. We can put a man on the moon, right? And we want to be in control of our body, our mind, what we think, what we do, where we go. Control, control, control. But how did all those planets get there? How did this one come to be? Are you afraid of life on Mars or the moon or Andromeda? How many constellations do you know or can you name? Or have you been to in the past, or are you waking up? Are you willing to know a Bible no more rules your life? a story of the divine. The threat of being labeled a blasphemer, the threat of being excommunicated. No longer control you. You want to wake up. These words are seeds. These words that I speak to you this day, this way, are the seeds of waking up to a new life, a new land. And if you go, you go alone. Not. Millions go now. And connect in ways never thought before. Because you're not limited to your Wi-Fi. You're not limited to your RF frequencies, your radio waves. You're not limited to the bandwidth, the spectrum of visible light anymore. Part of the problem. So many stories in the Bible may talk about eternal life, life to the full. Pardon me. But the end result is death. They even printed it in their book. It is inevitable, imminent, inevitable. It is appointed unto man to die. And then, lo and behold, you will face the scary judgment where your record of wrongs will be reviewed. Your sin. And most will be condemned. Right? Isn't that what it says? Straight is the way, narrow is the gate. But my friend, I have a new song. The story is not about you. Not again. Because the story of creation is, in fact, about you. The creator of creation is you. Are you willing to see? Are you willing to consider at a depth of thinking that is no longer shallow, where you just have a thought and think about it and then run, put on a meal, run to work, rush off to some kind of practice to play a sport a little better? The cosmic egg, where is it? Where is it? The cosmic egg. Well, what do you think as I move these pictures around? If I was a master of Photoshop, had a screen, even talking live like this on YouTube, I could layer things together. But alas, at this moment, this is what I have, so this is what I use. Just like flannel graph characters on a flannel board that people used eons ago. when I was little. Where is the cosmic egg? What is the cosmic egg? Have you read about it? Do you know it? Different names for it. Orphic tradition, Hindu tradition, Christian tradition. Multiple traditions, religions. The moment of creation. If you wake up, you will have grown these words that I'm sharing with you. You will have created the Creator. That's you, who creates creation again. This is how those planets get up there. I told the stories multiple times. I wanted to know God. I didn't want to just know the book. I didn't want to just hear a preacher strut across a stage. I saw in the Bible where Jesus walked and talked with people. There was a communion with Enoch and God, supposedly. So much so that Enoch did not die. Look at Elijah and Elisha, the stories. One of them didn't die. Do you know the story? Are you willing to know the story? Are you willing to see the story? Are you willing to see the characters move on the flannel board? In the movie, on the stage. And you're on the stage. You're one of the characters. Elisha, Elijah. Will you be Enoch? Are you willing to know the truth? Not the truth that is incarcerated and driven into our skulls by the ignorant that limit us. Anything that is based in fear and fear-based, anything that creates a fear, creates a hell for you, creates condemnation in you, is not of love. That's why everything built on this is crumbling. Because even though it has a lot of truth and a lot of value in it, it's based on fear. It creates fear. It creates hell. It creates a business model called tithing. When you want to wake up, you can do so. But it costs you everything you are. Not just what you think at the moment. You begin to see the larger picture. You know, I'm always saying there's more to the story. There's more to the story. There's so much more to the story than what we've been taught. We've been taught the beginning of life, the beginning of everything we know began with Genesis 1:1. No, my friend. The cosmic egg, what we're calling the cosmic egg, existed. There was many existences before what we call our Big Bang. Are you willing to go beyond everything you've ever thought? Are you willing to no more have faith in God to recompense you? for your filthy rags? You worm. I'm not a worm, and you're not either. I tell you what love responds with. The prodigal son story. That's about us. That's about you. That's about who will be it. Are we willing to learn? Are you willing to come home? Come home? Wake up. Is waking up coming home? Okay, sounds good to me. Let's value from the story. Let's engage with the story. Let's not be afraid of the story or truth or fiction or nonfiction or any lie. Truth is not fragile. Love loves engagement. Look at love in your mirror. Look at love this day. See the eyes of the beholden, no more of a theory, but of you becoming this. This, a body of light. Over the rainbow, into the rainbow, because of the rainbow. Throughout the rainbow, creating rainbows. You see, the rainbow is simply a symbol of the complete spectrum of energy, not just visible light. Aren't you willing to know who you are? Aren't you willing to know that when you walk out tonight and you look at all those stars, my friend, everything that you see in Pangea, the panorama of the sky, everything you're looking at is between your ears. All of creation. The neighbor next door that runs you crazy? Yeah. That beautiful model that you adore? The love of your children. The children of your love. Your hot rod, your GTO, your red bicycle, your go-kart, your Corvette. The exhilaration. Everything that you experience, everything that you think you see is in here, being registered. The cosmic egg is between your ears. And when you wake up, you become, when you really wake up, if you complete the process, you form a new land that you can go to. The formation of planets take place right here between your ears. Consciousness. When you become conscious of who you are, you begin to wake up. These words are the seeds for your tree of life to be nourished to the point that you need my words no more. Like training wheels on your bicycle, you begin to learn to flow the living word of creation, the word of creation that you sustain with your own energy because you're realizing you're becoming the creator. The story is about you. Religion removes you from the story and makes you a spectator, bystander, powerless, paradigm, extra, subservient. I'm telling you, pure love takes you out of the shadows, out of the stands, and puts you on the field. And says, okay, time to go, time to act. Are you willing to wake up? The cosmic egg. But of course, Christianity has isolated. Built a systemic, connected, effective system of followers, enslaving every follower with the story saying, John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, that whosoever should believe in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. You see how that alienates you from your power, strips you from the knowledge of who you are, removes all your ability to create creation, dumbs you down, restricts you, isolates you, enslaves you to your physical mind and the behavior which they tell you to operate with. That's why religion, Christianity especially, is so insidious. I've shared much with you this hour. The story of creation is the story of you. There's a rainbow for you. There's a complete energy spectrum of you to create you when you're willing to birth the new birth and become born again. No longer stymied by the Christian's interpretation of the Jesus story. I have another one. I wrote a book. It may not be easy to read because so much of it is channeled. And if you, my friend, learn to wake up, you will no longer be afraid of channeling. If you learn to wake up and become who you really are, you will decide to lead out of hell, whether anybody follows you or not. Creation of followers is not the objective. Redemption through the blood of someone else is indefensible anymore. It's not only rebuttable, it's completely false. The blood of bulls and goats and people The blood of Jesus has done nothing for you. And if you believe it has, it's because you can believe your belief. You can believe anything you want to. And what you choose to believe, you begin to create. I'm not talking about the law of attraction, the law of one. I'm talking about love in action. If you want to wake up to unconditional love, you begin to communicate and you begin to channel and you begin to pick up your pen and you begin to write as a child on a yellow tablet. Do so with a pen and a yellow tablet before you graduate to making audio recordings and video recordings. Begin now to engage. If you want to wake up, there's a point at which you have knowledge, and knowledge increases, but there's a point at which you need to take the training wheels off. Value the Bible. You may read in it every day, but it's no longer an idol. It no longer represents something sacred, divine. It's simply a reference with many stories, many of them with great value, that have been misinterpreted, misunderstood, and limited us. But now, through different eyes, we can see those stories, begin to help see who we are, to free us on our path to mature, to become who we really are. All this is the process I have discussed of waking up, becoming a born-again you, a born-again you. That's why this is the school of you, the school of me when you look in the mirror, the school of you to go play in the cosmos. That's why I call it the school of cosmic leadership, to take it out of a religious setting, to take it out of a religious church, a four-walled building, because you can't limit love. Love is infinite, eternal, immortal, interdimensional, and this is what you're becoming again when you wake up, if you will wake up and birth. Because you wake up in stages and stages and stages, because you are creating, and the tree of life is now no more wallowing in the pig slop of religion. The prodigal has come home. The prodigal has decided what? The prodigal has decided to create. Remember a picture yesterday? It begins with you and what you want, because you are creating you. And you are going to create you unto life, eternal, immortal, interdimensional. Or are you going to create you unto death and eventually die? Take your choice. I love you. I go now. I've often said, religion drives. Religion tells you. Religion demands. Gives you commandments. Keeps record of wrong. Jealous. Creates fear. Perfect love. Perfect love says, be who I am. Be me. Wear my garments. Wear my clothes. Wear my crown. Wear my energy. Think it not robbery to be equal with God. Before God was, you are. Time can limit you no more. All of creation groans no more in the body of this flesh. We are creating a new race of alive lovers, creations who create the newly created, born again, the unlimited you. I love you. TheodoreCottingham.com. Theodore Eureka at gmail.com. I continue to make little changes to my website and invite you to explore it. Subscribe to the email list. Subscribe to being a member in the school if you choose to. I thank you and I love you. Be the real you. Wake up. Create love because you can do so in the infinite power of you. Be not afraid of your power. Lead. This is the School of Leadership. I love you. Share these words. Outline them. Make a recording. Listen to them in your car. Listen to them. Make a little mini course. Remember, I've shared with you many times, love is a flow. And if you mature, you flow love. You write the first person words of love. You become not afraid of a stray word or whether you're writing perfectly. Begin to engage with love. Romance love. Woo love. Woo these words. And the magnetism that has driven us, the magnetism, law of attraction, the spin, the magnetic world, this magnetic world, our two hemispheres will no longer create us to be used by it. I love you. I go. See you later. Thank you. Share these words. Live, love, lead. Good day. Thank you so much for listening. Be who you really are. You are more than enough. You are worthy. You are confident. You are competent. You're qualified. I choose you. I choose you in your mirror. Choose you. And choose all those who will be loved too. See ya. Good day.